Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL. We're going to talk about the developers notes that was posted today along with the patch notes. So it's the same patch notes that had the World Boss regular season opening. This is shared information. So if you watch that session of RBTL, just feel free to, just look at that. I'm not going to reiterate what I said there. World Arena second preseason begins. Now this is gonna get a bit more spicy. I think there's now a lot more incentive. I'm still curious though, are they gonna keep World Arena to be free on entrance, like no gacha element in terms of like for regular arena we have arena flag, but once there are rewards, I'm curious if they'll keep it that way. That's something that's not discussed in this dev note, so don't panic, but it's just something that just came to mind. We'll be able to see ranking on the second preseason here, and their plan is getting some rewards as well. So just over here I'm just gonna highlight this. So honorary reward, hero skin. Now this is gonna be interesting. All heirs who finish regular season World Arena with a certain ranking will be given a hero skin. The hero skin will be given to be given will be announced prior to the end of the season. This is interesting because this can shape how they're gonna go in the future in terms of like these rewards. Does this mean that this hero skin is exclusive to only RTA, award? Or is this hero skin going to be given for free if you do get a certain ranking in RTA and World Arena, and then purchasable in the shop? So everybody else would have to kind of quote unquote spend currency to be able to get this. Now, if it's exclusive skin, I can get it. It makes RTA much more competitive. But if it's exclusive skin, we just know that half the community is gonna go and rage because they're like, we want the skin, we want to enjoy the game, but we're noobs. We're free to play, we can't compete. You know that. It's gonna happen. I'm half. I don't even know what way they want. To be honest, I personally would just probably want them to have it in the skin shop. Actually, I won't mention something. It's weird to say a skin shop, but it's literally what the game call it. But yeah, so it most likely will enter the skin shop available for purchase. But those who actually, achieve a certain ranking in the World Arena may be able to get it for free. I mean, that's basically how it reads. So the question is, are the hero skins for the World Arena rewards going to be exclusive to World Arena, just like the frames are, right? Frames. Like we know, when we're playing in GBG, we see someone use like this like crazy legend 1 frame, from Arena. We're like, whoa, that's exclusive, right? That's literally only a couple people can get certain frames. So is the skin gonna be the same? We'll have to see. Hopefully, because skin is different from a frame. I think compared to in terms of value, just the amount of artwork going in, everybody knows the value of it. I mean, people would literally spend for skins too, so hopefully they don't make it exclusive. I can just see the community going in flames if it is exclusive. World Arena ranking frame. Now this, I guess, would be just totally different from the Arena frames. So this is a nice addition. Again, a little bit of incentive. People can kind of flex. Hey, you know what? I'm a this kind of level player. I've achieved this, and they can always have it. So it's really nice. Cosmetic kind of stuff. That's very cool. And then participation rewards for anyone who participates in a World Arena during the regular season will be getting a background pack. So I mean, if you don't do RTA, but you may as well get the background pack, so that'd be great. And then they do mention that the Spectator Friendly functions are currently being developed. They're saying these functions will be added April of this year. Now, this Smilegate has done some very, very interesting, I would say, release like information. I mean, they've done where like they set hard dates and then they've given us notices where they're pushing it back. So let's just hold this with a grain of salt. I'm not too like, I don't really care technically. Like it'd be a nice feature to have, but but even if it doesn't come in April, let's say like it comes in June, like 6 months, maybe that's enough. But let's just not hold them too accountable for this. April 2022, someone says on stream. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it says this year. Regardless, let's just not hold that them too harshly to that date. We know that they're working on a lot of stuff. They are fixing stuff after their like 4th and 5th iteration on a certain feature. So for example, pet improvements, it's a big fix this time, and I would actually say I'm much more satisfied after the 4th and 5th like iteration. They finally get it sort of right. I know that people are still gonna be picking on little details, but to me, this is like all the complaints that I have for pet improvements. I think they've all dealt with. So anyways, let's get on to this. First things first, if you notice this, as soon as I read this, I looked at the UI and I'm like, whoa, the homemade snack icon is gone. Yes, it is gone. So finally, we're gonna get an auto repeat function similar to what we've all wanted, but still sort of hard capped. And I'm gonna get into that. If you're too lazy to read this, I'll kind of give you a brief description here. Homemade snacks will be deleted, will be removed. They are saying that homemade snacks will not be deleted, but instead maybe exchange it for pet related items. So does that mean homemade snacks that you currently have will be able to exchange for something? Or are homemade snacks gonna drop still as a separate currency, but it won't affect your repeat battles? We'll have to see, but they said here, provide more details later on, so let's just wait. But in terms of having to repeat with homemade snacks is finally out of the question. So I was saying that one of the biggest problems for homemade snacks is that if you farm hunts and you rely on homemade snacks, you don't rely on macros, which is pretty popular from top players. But if you don't rely on that, you do rely on homemade snacks, it's going to be really bad because you're not getting homemade snacks from altars. You're not getting homemade snacks from hunts. So you're gonna eventually run out, and then you have to manual it anyway. And then during, let's say, a buff event, so like a drop rate buff event, like the hunt drops or gold buff, that kind of stuff. During those kind of events, you're not gonna spend your energy and time farming like the side story adventure just to get homemade snacks so you can auto hunt, right? So this is a lot better, but of course here is the kicker. So we are going to be limiting the number of repeat battles. They are, rather, not we are, proportional to the pet generation. So for example, so this is saying for example, we'll have to see what this looks like. 4th generation pets will provide a maximum of 20 repeat battles. Basically, the idea is after you do X amount of repeat battle based on the generation of your pet, you'll have to actually manually reset it again. It's not too bad. It's just that, you know, you can't farm it indefinitely. You pretty much will have to babysit it depending how fast you farm. Let's say hunts, right? 20 repeat battles, let's say on a Banshee one-shot farm. It's going to be pretty quick, right? Most people are running a 1 minute team, 40 seconds to 1 minute. It's going to be pretty quick. So 20 minutes, but of course this means that you also have to have like a lot of leaf or a lot of sky stones to recharge the energy. But after 20 minutes or so, give or take, you're gonna have to go back and press the repeat. Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? It's a lot better than the homemade snacks. So this is already going in the right direction. In my opinion, 20 battles for me is good enough for me to kind of leave the game running for a while, me to do some tasks around the house or at work or something. So in my opinion, this is already a big thing. But the thing is, this is a 4th generation example that we have. So 20 repeat battles. So what is it going to be like for a 2nd generation, 3rd generation? That's TBD. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Let's see here. There is another thing I wanted to talk about. They were saying that they're going to give you a 3rd generation battle type pet via a tutorial reward. If you have already done the pets, like if you're not a new player, you will get them in the mailbox. I think that's important to know. Anything else from this section? No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, all in all, the homemade snacks part is way better. Way more usable. I think this is what we wanted from the get-go. So again, I'm not complaining that they finally listened to us. That's great, but you know, it took them a lot of time, and I think a lot of consideration to do it. One of the biggest things that I had a complaint about was the no daily pets. So they did that on the last pet update, which is fantastic. Daily pets means you get finally more fodder, and you don't have to actually spend the gold or the sky stone. The problem with the pets before is like either outside of getting it from like the world boss drops, the adoption tickets, or getting them through an event, something from an event, your pet system will stay stale unless you spend gold or skystone. That was a really big problem. They finally got that daily summon in there, so that's great. And then this is going good. And then the last part that we all had a problem with was the synthesis problem. Now, because I haven't actually synthesized much pets, like I'm maining like 4 pets. I'm not creating any more pets outside of these. I've got them all to 3rd generation, but not to 4th generation yet. So at least with the synthesis like guarantee, so basically now you can increase kind of like your conversion system. You can guarantee an epic, or you can guarantee a better craft with the more fodder or higher grade fodder you put into it. Same kind of concept goes into this, the higher generation pet chance. If you just put in, as you can see in the image there at least, you put in like a 1st generation pet, and you can that's enough to get you to 100%. That's fantastic. You don't need to synthesize 2nd generation pets to get it higher and all that stuff. So it looks like it's going to be cheap, but again, I think the image is going to be a bit different, as we see in the asterisk notes down here. May be different upon release, but if it is as generous as this is going to be great. Now with that RNG out of the way, it's a lot better. It's going to be a lot better. But you know, I made this comment a very, very, very long time ago regarding the pet system, is that it's going to be a curve. Like if you imagine a curve graph, there's going to be a lot of action in the pets at first, and then all of a sudden the pet system's going to die off. Now with all this generosity in terms of like these additional features here, I think it's going to be great for any player. That's fantastic. But for players who already have the pets they needed, in terms of like the skills, the only reason to get another pet would be to get one of those rare ones. So what I call ML pets, the special pets. The only reason to continue to play with a pet after you get a triple S pet with the skills you want would only be to change the skin or to change the look. That's pretty much it. So the pet system ends up being dead pretty quick. Now they are mentioning that they will potentially increase the pet features so that the pet will actually bring different. I think they mentioned something about like different skills or something. Off the top of my head. Oh no, it's not even that. At least that's not. It's here. So the additional features, it would be to listen to the voices of their pets, as well as a notification warning of the errors if they attempt to use the special pets as an ingredient. Okay, so that's not a big deal. But like I said, I think everybody, you know, once they're done with the pet that they need, they really don't even look at it anymore. And that's what I'll think would actually happen until the pets have a different type of motivation to start playing with again, which I think at this point they kind of lock themselves. It's pretty much a dead end thing. Once the players have the pets, it's pretty much done. The feature, content and convenience improvements. This is already part of it. At least the buy one. The purchase one, this is already going into the patch. The arena update, this is a very nice thing. So once the weekly arena score is being collected, so we call it arena lockdown. So once the arena is actually locked, generally, you know, you're gonna have like a couple hours before the weekly reset for you to actually use your flags. Now I know a lot of people may at this point come with, like, you know, at the near the end, they'll have like 5 flags and they don't want to cap it. They want to get some skystone, they want to get some conquest points. So being able to actually access the NPC challenge during the lockdown is a fantastic addition. It's something I didn't really think about, but I definitely enjoy this. So that's very cool, very forward thinking. I love that aspect. So just give them props there. This was something I kind of missed out on in terms of the labyrinth. So we no longer actually lower morale. So it doesn't matter what team comp you bring. You can have a neutral, like no addition to your morale. You can have addition to a morale, but now your conversation actually makes your friendship levels drop. So this, I mean, it won't drop too fast, I suppose, but it made me kind of think like, what would happen if you have a level 10 friendship on a hero and you use this one constantly and somehow you can't get the morale team up? Can you actually dip into friendship levels? I don't know. Like if you can, do you lose the expressions you've unlocked? I don't think so. So I guess this doesn't really matter. So in my opinion, it's like, why even have the grades anyway? Like if it's not gonna affect the morale and it's not gonna really affect your friendship level, does it really need to be there? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. The very last thing is they're doing improvements to the Hell Raid difficulty labyrinth. So hopefully that's what we saw like 6 months ago, like with all those new bosses and stuff. The very last thing I wanted to touch upon is this. This is pretty exciting. This is actually coming quicker than I thought. So the first quarter of 2020, so that's about like March, April-ish, we can expect Japanese voices to be added to all servers. So this is fantastic. Although they say that due to the difference of the numbers of the heroes between the servers, there will be characters that won't have the Japanese voices. So I'm assuming, for example, like in the Japanese server, they don't have like Baiken, Soul Bad Guy, Dizzy. Although they already have Japanese voices, so what do they mean? Oh, SSB would be an example. SSB wouldn't have been released when the Japanese was out, so SSB might not have the voice. But regardless, that's fantastic. Everybody wanted to hear the Japanese voices. I think most of us have heard previews of the Japanese voice actors, so it's very epic. Most of them are really good. There are a couple annoying ones. Like I think Destina, the English counterpart, sounds a bit better. It's very high squeaky in the Japanese voice, but most of the Japanese voices are better. Yufine sounds super sexy in the Japanese voice, so I think I'm gonna default to the Japanese voices once it drops, at least for a long time. Although I won't be able to do the voice impressions though, you know. I've already memorized all the English ones. I can't do the Japanese ones. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the dev notes. Not a super big one actually if you compare to previous dev notes, but I think if this is part of Smilegate's plan of not releasing too much info and getting hype and then not delivering on time and then people getting angry at them not delivering on time, this might be a smart way to do developers notes. So kind of like give you like what's on the horizon like within the next 2 months. I really don't think they should start sharing stuff that they have planned for 6 months or 1 year down the line. All right, a lot of stuff has been that way. Anyways, I'm gonna end my thoughts on this here. Emblem says, oh, bonus voice pack, kawaii dragon pack. Alright, I'm gonna end this for the video recording's sake. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next RBTL.